Hello, good day everyone. I hope that you are all okay. I hope that you are always safe. Make sure that you are always observing the health protocol for us to be safe always against the virus. So this video is just a clarification regarding on the content of the last post-date module, because I know that some of you I decided to make this video because I know that some of you cannot really understand the whole process of creating the TOS by looking at the module or by reading at the module. So I decided to have this video for you for the clarification of what I have posted on the last posted module. So listen carefully and observe carefully regarding on the content of this video, because this is also the coverage of your exam today. So this is the first ever video, pre-recorded video for this subject, which I really need to make this video because of this topic, developing and designing assessment or test. Because the topic is very important, especially that you will become a teacher and someday somehow you will become a test developer or assessment developer. And we cannot deny the fact that a lot of teachers, especially to those newly hired teachers, do not know how to make a test questionnaire based on the TOS, which is the basic or the proper way of creating the test questionnaire is you have to make it the TOS first before you can make your test questionnaire. For this time, we will just focus on the creating the TOS. I will be giving you the two formats of the TOS. Whether the two saan nila, tama ni sila. Pero sa pagkakaroon, ang ginagamit is the two-way TOS. But I will be explaining to you. I'll be giving some clarifications, of course, on the one-way TOS. So again, as I said earlier, the TOS is very important in designing the test questionnaire. So the TOS will come first before the test questionnaire. So naayuban ng mga teacher na mas magliso daw sila og himo og TOS kung dili sila makahimo og test questionnaire una. So kadaghanan sa mga teachers, bisag ako naka-experience ako, giuna na pug himo ang test questionnaire before ko naghimo sa TOS. But the correct one, the proper one is TOS first before you can make your test questionnaire. But it's up to you to handle situations as long as you can make your TOS at the same time your test questionnaire na magkakuan niyo sila, magkasabay din sila. So it's up to you to open the last posted module to see things nga dili na ko ma-upload sa video, kay limited lang atong video para mas gaano po siya. Okay, I will be discussing the one-way TOS. Again, one-way TOS maps out the content or the topic test objectives. So numbers of hours spent, format numbers, and placement of items. So mao ni ang design sa one-way TOS, or TOS is the table of specification. So there is a portion sa topics. Mao ni ang mga topics kay imuhang gitudlo within that certain date. Example, isa ka quarter. So mao na ang naghimo kag questionnaire. So mao na siya mga topics nga nasulod ana nga quarter. So asa giunsa nimo pag-identify sa topics ana, pwede ba ta mag-ambak-ambak lang or dili? So dili pwede. It is based on the CG or kanang gitawag namo og curriculum guide. So sa curriculum guide na ana na dito ang topics nga naka intended for that certain quarter or certain grading period. So ito dapat mo na imong makuha dayon mo na may number of hours ana. So time spent on the topic, of course tan-aw nang gihapon nimo na sa CG kay dito sa curriculum guide makita na pud nimo dito kung pila ka hours dapat itudlo na sa bata or pila ka hours imong i-spend ana nga topic. Then or even on the module. Sa module nakabutang na kay because the module and the curriculum guide sabay gina sila. Mo na kuhaan ang module gi-create na siya based dito sa curriculum guide. So sa module kasagaran karon nakabutang na kung pila ka hours ang mo spendan. So makita na to column sa topics na ay example ya selection and organization content. Then time spent, example selection and organization of content. Time spent 6 hours. So again kining sa time spent or topic in hour asa nato na di nato na pwede buot-buotan kun dili tan-aw nato sa curriculum guide or sa module itself. Then percentage asa nato ni, but before you can make your TOS you decide first how many items that you are going to have or to make as an assessment or a test questionnaire. So there is a percent of class time on topics. Yun sa ni siya pagkuha. Because as I stated earlier, that you have to follow what is the standard based on the curriculum guide. So, pila ka oras intended for that certain topics, for that certain quarter, or for that certain grading period, or for that certain periods, mo na ibutang nimo pila ka oras na katanan na klase. So, example 27. So, 6 for selection and organization of content is 6 hours. So, it means to say that it becomes 6 divided by 27. So, it is 0.22222. Then convert it into percent, it becomes 22.22%. And that is on the column percent of the class time on topic. So, nakita, nabantayan ninyo. 6 ang nasa taas on selection and organization of the content. So, 6 niya, ang number of hours na siya tanan nga topic, for example lang ha, first quarter na to na 27 hours na klase. So, 6 divided by 27 mo nang nag-result of 0.2222. Then convert it into percent, becomes 22.2%. Then another one, on the selection and use of teaching strategies, number of hours, number of days, or number of hours, depende sa unsay naa sa curriculum guide. Imo nang 3 divided by 27, then becomes 0.111111. Then convert it into percent, it becomes 11.1%. Okay, klaro na. Next, the number of items. So as I said, you have to decide first how many items that you are going to make on the test questionnaire. Example, this one-way TOS or table of specification is 80 items. So, nakabuhat naman ka og percent of class. So, ibutang na mo ng 80 or if ever 60 items lang nimong gibuhat mo nang 60 times 2 to 22.2%. So, kung imo na i-total is 17 i-total na to 80, it becomes 80 times 0.22 is equal to 80 times 22.2% is it is 17.6. So 17.6 wala may questionnaire nga, wala may item sa test nga DCCT lang ug tunga. So rounded it to the nearest whole number, it becomes 80. Again, as I said earlier, that we have to decide the number of items for your test questionnaire. So since you have already the numbers belongs to percent, or since you have already identified the percent of class time on topic, then you decided already that it is 80 items. So what you're going to do next for the number of class items, 80 times 22.2%, or it becomes 80 times 0.222. Then the result will be 17.6. Pero wala man tay bungkig, wala man tay 17 lang og tunga nga questions nga imong pagabuhaton. So i-round off nimo na into the nearest whole number. So 0.6 man siya, mahimo na siya og 18, 17.6. So it becomes 18. Then test percent, the same process. 80 times 11.1% or 80 times 0.1111, then it will result to 9. Or we'll try to divide 80 times 0.111, it is equal to 8.88. As I said, you have to round it into the nearest whole number. So 8.888, it becomes 9. So that's why number of items on the selection and the use of teaching strategies, time spent is 3, then percent of class time on topic is 11.1%, in a number of items that you are going to make is 9 items. So test placement, it's up to you to identify, to put it in the 19. The example on selection and organization of the content. Test placement, si 1 to 18. Pero dili na mag-matter kung pwede mo na ikatag ang item sa, pwede ka magbutang 1 to 5, then other question will be on 60 to 65. So nagdepende na si mga. Pero mo na test placement. So para di ka maglibog, 1 to 18 na dito, then the next following numbers magsunod lang gihapon. So it's up to you to decide your table of specification. Pero wala na nagmatter nga kay dapat magsunod yun ang numbers sa imuhang, magsunod yun sila sa imuhang test questions. Pwede nimo na ilaktaw-laktaw nga asa nga topic kay usahay na kay example nagtopic ka og addition. So pwede nga na kay addition sa number 1 to 5, na po kay addition dito sa tumoy-tumoy na dapita sa imong pages. So yun ana lang siya. Okay, the two-way TOS. Two-way TOS reflects not only the content, time spent, and the number of hours, but also the levels of cognitive behavior targeted per test content. So mas gi-emphasize diri mo nang giingon ako nga karon sa pagkakaron mao na ni ang gigamit nga QoS para sa mga teachers. Mo na po ni gi-required sa amuha. So pagka mahimo na yung teachers mga 2 years from now or 1 year from now, teacher na mo mao pa ni siguro yung ma-absent. So ako lang ihatag ang difference between the two. I-discuss na ako kanina kung unsa ang one way, pero mo na ni ang focus na to. Mapansin ninyo sa two-way TOS, naa na siya specification kung unsa ang mga questions nga imuhang mga questions kay imong himuon. Dili lang siya yung atong kasimple nga bisag unsa lang nga questions imong create. Example sa topics, again, ang topic nagikan dito sa curriculum guide. So example is 21st century assessment, number of hours, 2 lang ka oras. Then pila ka percent, as I said, how to get the percent is you total the number of hours, all the total number of hours divided by the specific number of hours to that certain topic. Example 10. So 10 divided 2 divided by 10, it is equal to 20. 2. Convert it into percent, it becomes 20%. Another one on the types of assessment, 3 divided by 10, it becomes 0.333. Then convert it into percent, it becomes 30%. So how to identify the number of items? So again, you have to decide the number of items in your test. So gamay raman, posible nang pud makahimo kag 80 items na quiz sa napulo lang ka oras sa mga klase. So ang imong or 80 items na test sa napulo lang ka oras sa mga klase. So depende ra pud na kung pila ka oras ng klase. So imo ra gi naman kay nagaklase man ka og you decide, pwede rin ka taas kay ka klase, pwede rin mong gamayon na pud ang quiz kay para maluoy ka sa mga estudyante. So depende ra sa mga, you decide the number of items. So the number of items ani is 20. So 20 times 20% is equal to 4. So muna po na, then diri na, unsa ni si R, si U, si up, si an, si E, o si C. And now, let us identify unsa ni si R, si U, si up, si an, si E, o si C. So kini si R, mo ni siya ang remembering. Pero anyway, there will be another discussion as we go along on assessment, on developing assessment. Ito na sa test quiz, how to create a test questions. Let us have a clarification or a vivid discussion regarding these matters. But for this time, R is for remembering, and U is for understanding, up is for apply, then An is for analyze, E for evaluate, and C for create. Because you will be grouping the questions into the AC, the difficult, and the average questions. So, dili necessary na tanan yun abutangan mo na dapat kini nga question na yun siya sa difficult. Kini si remembering o si understanding, AC lang siya. Simple lang ang mga questions. Dili sa apply o sa analyze, mo na sila ang mga average. Sa evaluate o create, mo na ni siya ang katong sa difficult. Or not necessarily na tanan diha, pero as much as possible, mas maayo nga mabutangan nimo na tanan ma-segregate nimo maayo ang question nga na ay question nga for remembering, pero lisod na siya nga pagbuhaton. Kay kuti na kay na kung na kay question nga for remembering, for understanding, na po kay for apply, na po kay for analysis. Then i-distribute nimo example sa number of items, only 4 items intended for 21st century assessment. So you have to distribute that 4 items into asa siya na belong. So ang dire sa example na alang siya sa remembering, sa understanding, o sa analyze. Second types of assessment, number of hours is 3. How many percent of questions? 30% only. So 40 items naman, 6 lang ang intended para siya. So i-distribute niya, naara siya sa remembering, 8 to 10, plus another items on the application. Or na apply or application. Yes, apply or application. So yung ana lang po identify. But anyway, it's there will be a thorough discussion regarding this one as we go along on the developing on the test questionnaire. Again, recapitulations on what I have already discussed. The two formats of the TOS, the one-way or two-way TOS. Saan na tama to sila. Pero ang sa karon, ang accepted karon nga format is a two-way TOS. Okay? So, kaingunan ako ganina, mas specified siya, mas klaro siya. Tapos, ang distribution sa questions, nakahanay siya from AC to average to difficult. So, again, balik ko na nako ang R, muna siya sa remembering, U, understanding, apply, tapos an, ang analyze, then evaluate and create. So gi-distribute na, pero gingon na nako bisan pa og dili nimo mabutangan dili mo ma-distribute ang tanan diha nga questions, pero as much as possible nga imong ibutangan og remembering, understanding, application, analysis, evaluate and create. So mas maayo ang imong test questions, mas valid siya kung gi-distribute mo maayo. So pero lisod kay na siya kung imo gyud tanan i-distribute, because there are questions nga tama dapat na gyud siya sa remembering o understanding. So daghan pa ta mga discussions regarding these matters, because right after this will be the developing of the test questions. So for this time, this is for your exam. So I hope that you really learned from our discussion regarding these matters. I really need to give you this video, to make this video, because I know that some of you cannot really understand kung asa gikan ng mga numbers diya, kung giunsa na siya pagkuha. So I hope nga nakatabang ni sa inyo ha, and good luck for your exam.